Hello everybody, my name is Adrian and welcome to our first webinar of the year on reporting. If I could just have a show of hands if everyone can hear me okay. Perfect. Fantastic. So joining me today as well is Shelley and Eddie. They're going to be monitoring the chat and responding to any questions that you may have. But in addition to that, I will be reaching out to everybody via email. And if you'd like to schedule a more in-depth discussion in regards to reporting, I'm more than happy to hear from you. This webinar is also going to be recorded with the intention that I'm going to share it with everybody. So what I want to cover in 45 minutes is how we report using our CRM. So on-demand reporting, how to create some data exports, our community BI reports, and our community BI developer tool as well, for those that are interested in getting more data out of CDS and being able to build your own reports yourselves within the system. So let's get started. I'm just going to stop sharing my screen or the presentation. You should be seeing my screen now with our CRM up. Shelley, can you confirm that you can see my screen? Terrific, thank you. So the first thing I want to do is I just wanted to go through our solution and how you can access the reports. So the first thing you're going to notice is as I've logged in as myself, I am using our UAT environment. So my modules might be different to everybody else's. And if I hover over into activities, you can see here that I've got quite a few modules already selected. Each module comes with their own on-demand reports. And to access these on-demand reports, you'll go into here into management and click on reports. If you don't have access to this area, it is user permission restricted. Please raise a ticket, talk to somebody in your team. They may have access to this. Clicking on the reports allows you to be able to go through a report selection. So as you can see here, it says report none, and this drop down has all the modules that I've got active on my database where I can go through and pull through some reports. The first report I just want to go through here is one of the basic ones, which is our case management statistics report. Clicking on the report is going to bring up some preferences and some parameters. So the first thing you're going to notice here is that I've got the format preferences. By default, it's usually always Adobe PDF. So it's going to create a PDF of the report. And then I could put some parameters in here, such as start day and start time. Going through and putting in a date range, you can click on this little question mark here to give you some useful selection tips to assist with being able to select dates. The reason why I wanted to highlight this area here is because we've got a couple of really cool features in regards to how to select a year and month. And if you hold the mouse button over any of the above buttons for faster selection. What that means is if I wanted to hold down here, I can easily select a month, but I can also select this area here and it always gives me back a year. So this will reduce time in entering dates. You can also select a particular site location if you're wanting to narrow down the report, and you can also report by funding source as well. So if you wanted to have a look at things compared to the general counselling versus advocacy, you can be able to pull those two reports down. In this case, I'm just going to select general counselling and hit run report. What this report will showcase, it will showcase case numbers, demographics, and other information. I'm just checking if we're going to add any more attendees. My computer just went ding. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to click here to download this report, and what this will showcase, it will bring up a one-pager or sometimes three of everything about this service. So it lets you know what criteria I've selected in this report, what the funding source is, and it's going to let me know things such as number of cases open at the start date, number of cases open during the period, closes, cases remained open, and number of cases with at least one session during the reporting period. So this can showcase people that you've actually seen, like bums on seats with the appointments, but also open cases as well, and the closed cases. Scrolling down, I've got information such as incoming referrals, breakdown of outgoing referrals, outcomes, and some demographics like client age, gender, language spoken, ATSI statuses, main source of income, and how many appointments have happened during that time, how many direct hours have been spent, and how many indirect hours, as well as travel time as well. So just to recap where I went, straight away from the home page into activities, and I went to reports. The other type of reports you could do is you could also go through which I call the case notes reports. So there'll be some reports that you'll notice that when you're looking at the options, it's going to have this area here called project ID. And this is because it's an embedded report. So for me to get the project ID, it's asking for a particular client. If I go here and access a particular client, so let's say case management. So I might go and have a look at Wednesday Addams case management. One thing I'm going to notice is that on the left-hand side, I've got these particular easy quick buttons. This icon is the on-demand report, and this icon here is the Community BI report. We're going to touch on that a little bit later. Clicking on the case management case notes report, as you can see, it's pulled together Wednesday Addams's file, and then it's automatically running the report. This report's going to showcase everything about Wednesday, pull together her case management case notes in a chronological order. It's giving me a summary of how many hours I've spent and indirect hours has been spent with the client, any exit notes, and it's giving me every single note that's happened within that file. So as you can see with the on-demand reporting, you'll be able to go through quickly and generate PDFs to get your reporting numbers, and also have the ability to create things like case notes if you've got emergency relief and other things as well. You can get client summaries, and majority of these reports that are connected with a project ID are all embedded into the system in regards to where a client file sits or where that information needs to be collected from, as you can see here. Okay. The next thing I wanted to show you is how to export data out of the system. So one of the main ways that you can do this is if I click on activities, you can see here that I've got, let's go to emergency relief, for example. You'll be presented with a search page. On this search page, what you can do here is you can pull in a search and put in your criteria here. And instead of clicking on every individual file, I can go in here and hit select all records, and I can select export. This will export the file as a CSV. What it will contain, so if I just click on this emergency relief record, it will contain everything within here. So anything in regards to what type of system's been sorted, total assistance, contact time, and other things. What you can do from this is that if I go here and I just open up this file, it will export it as a CSV. You can save it as a spreadsheet. You can create and turn it into a table. And you can also have the ability to then go through here and create other things like pivot tables. So if I wanted to know certain things about this particular one, I might have service date is a really good field. Might throw that in there. I might also then want to know with that, I might break it down by quarters. And let's have a look at something that I can calculate against. So look at total assistance. And I might change that one to show currency. So as you can see here, this has been able to create a quick pivot table from doing extraction and getting data this way. One of the things that we do as well with our Community BI, we're able to automate a lot of this process for you. How Community BI works is if I go into activities, back into reports, I've got on-demand reporting here, and then I've also got Community BI reports. Clicking on Community BI reports, essentially if you view it as an already built report or a dashboard or an ad hoc view that's already created, that pivot table and that information, it will be displayed here, very easy for you to be able to access. We already have quite a few custom ones already built, and we've also got standard ones built as well. Our team can assist in developing reports for you, and also what I'll show you a bit later on in this demo is how to build them yourself. So the first thing I'm going to do here is, as I'm looking at these particular reports, is I can go here and I can have a look at a dashboard. So I can search for criteria and say if I wanted to have a look at this CMFS report. This is essentially grabbing all the data and building the pivot tables for me where I can see the information. This report is best displayed as an export, and what I can do here is I can actually export it as other types of formats. So in this instance, I've got PDF and I've got a docx. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to select docx, and it's going to export the report for me. So as you can see, as I export this report, it's going to have all those tables already for me to be able to view and see. The other cool thing about CommunityBI is that these can be embedded as well. So if I click on Wednesday Addams, and as you can see here, I've got the emergency relief summary, which is our in-demand reports, but I've also got this BI logo here for client timeline. This is how the embedded reports work. It will pick up the client's information, it will know what client was searching for, and it will be able to pull together that report for me. So I can create a one-pager of knowing how much sessions I've had and how many hours I've spent with that particular client, for example. Okay. So I might just quickly check to see if there's any questions before I jump more into BI. Okay, no questions so far?
I've got a couple of people with their hand up still. Judy and Emma.
That's all right, Emmy and Kathy, absolutely. We'll send you a message and we'll have a good conversation in regards to about your BI reports. Yeah, we'll do. We'll definitely send through the recording. And please, if I'm going too fast, please make a chat saying, Adrian, slow down, please. And I'll slow down. I see what the problem I'm having is that I've got 3 screens going and one of them is on a different computer. So that's why you see my mouse move around. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to log into our CommunityBI. So CommunityBI is a separate platform. This is the developer tool where you'll be able to do things such as being able to schedule your own reports. So for example, as you saw how I exported that report in Word, I can actually have it automatically sent into my inbox once a month or once a week and things like that as well. If you don't have access to this tool here, our team can also create schedules for you. So why would I need access to this particular tool? It would be if you have the ability to be able to create your own reports in-house and be able to then change your reports and be able to develop more ad hoc reports. So if your reporting requirements are continuously changing where you're wanting to get more data out of the system at a rapid pace where you don't want us to build the reports for you, this tool would be excellent. If you've got a business systems team that can be able to build and modify reports, that can also be useful. The first thing I want to highlight while I'm in this particular tool here is this help page, because it's always useful to know where to go for help. So if you're using CommunityBI, what we've got here is we've got this help support page, which can give you all the information that you need to know in regards to CommunityBI and to get yourself started. For myself, I like going down here and clicking on videos. So this is where I can get some particular information about what I'm looking at with CommunityBI, how to access it, and how to use it. For example, if I click on what is Community BI, it will let me know some general information about Community BI, how it relates to your own data system. So it shows that we configure the data sources for you and creates the domains to allow you to be able to grab your data and manipulate it. And then what you can do here is you can create your ad hoc reviews, you can create dashboards and reports, and you can also embed them straight into. Yep, Angus, I will show you how to do it, and I will slow down as well, Diana. So what this is showing here is it's just showing how we can connect to our CRM solution and Community BI talks to each other, and how you have the ability to be able to create your own views. One thing you'll notice, I'm just going to log out. I'm going to log into Community BI. So this is to log into the developer component of Community BI. If you need to access Community BI in the system, you look at reports, everything can be embedded in here. So it's a different way of accessing it, but this is where I can create schedules and build my own reports. So we'll give you a login page where you can log in and a username and password. So I'm going to just type in as my username and password. Show your local time zone. So it's good and very important to choose the right time zone to assist with the reporting. And I'm going to click login. From the home page, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to click on the help. This brings up our help knowledge base site. You can also access this from our website. To get started, I recommend going through and clicking on some of these videos and to learn how to use Community BI. So this video here will go through a number of things of how to develop in that, and it's a good way to get started. From the Community Business Intelligence portal itself, I'm going to go here and click on View, and I'm going to have a look at my repository. This is where I can go through and view all of the dashboards and information that coincides with your CRM. So for example, if I look at this family service and case management client case summary, I can right click on this, I can open it, or I can click on schedule. This is showing if I've got any schedules where I want this report automatically emailed to a selected DL list, selected staff members, or to myself, and I can click here and create a schedule. Through this part, it's just a prompt to tell you to go through here and say, when do I want to have this report? I'm going to like to have this report every Friday. So I'm going to start this coming Friday. I can also do a recurrence type, simple, repeat every certain days, or I can go into calendar mode where I might go, well, let's do it every Friday, selected days. Let's have it at 9:30 a.m. So after I finish and grab my coffee and sat at my desk, I might get this email with this particular report. I can put an end date. I might want to exclude New Year's Day if that's the case as well. Clicking save, I can then go through here and I can go Adrian's report extraction. Then I'm going to put in some details in here and click save. Going back on edit, I can then look at the output options. So I might export this as a detailed view or just a screenshot, and I might want to attach that Word document, not a PDF. I might also click on notifications and I might send it to myself. Eddie, I'll send this to you as well. Put in a message description. And then I might actually include everything as either links so they can log in, or what I'll view is include the dashboard files as attachments. You can also put in some details here to notify someone that the report has been sent, so you can see if there's any particular issues as well. And I'll click save, and that's me set up this report to be sent out automatically. So instead of having the capability of me having to log into the CRM, find the report, click on the report, click export, I can now have it automatically set up that every Friday at 9:30 in the morning, I'll receive this report. I wouldn't need to log in. Now there's other things you can do than just scheduling reports. I can go through here and I can also view all the reports. I can access the reports. I can copy and I can edit the reports as well. If you're new to BI, we can also deliver you training on how to do this. I know if I keep running through it during a webinar, we can be here for quite a while. But what I love to do is I love to show you how to create an ad hoc view. So I'm just checking, can everyone hear sound? Yep. Perfect. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Sharon. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm just basically created an ad hoc view. I'm actually going to hit cancel. We're going to go back to it. So I can go create report, dashboard, create ad hoc view. The good thing about creating these views as well is that you can synchronize them to be scheduled to go into the CRM yourselves. So if I go here and I start looking at ad hoc view, they'll display here once it goes through, and it usually takes about a day for the reports to synchronize and to dump into your list so everyone can access the reports that you're building. Not everyone needs to log into BI. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go through and access public domains. So everyone has a different area. I'm using a UAT environment. So this is why I'm going this way. And basically I want to access a client file. So this is my client table. So I'm going to select choose data. And what I can see here is I can see all the data sources. So this is everything to do with that client file. So I've got the demographics, information, and I can also link it, and I can build other things to build with activities and events, but this time I'm just going to keep it nice and simple and stick with clients, and I'm going to bring across all the fields. You can also have the ability to do pre-filters, so you might say, well, I want to have these clients with this particular need, so you don't filter it in the report, it filters the extraction before it touches the report. You can also go through here and you can also change the labels as well. So I might want to call, for example, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders. I might change that to ATSI, for example. But in this case, I'm just going to click OK. So what you'll notice is that what we've got here is a full-on report builder. So as I've created that pivot table straight away when I had to download that stuff into Excel, and then from Excel I copied to create a table, moved to a pivot table and moved and dragged and dropped all the fields. This is generally the same thing. So if I wanted to go through here, I might go, let's go age band, for example. I might add that to rows, and then I might add the client count, might add that to columns. What you'll notice here is that it's starting to build my report for me. So I've got age ranges, so under 5-year-olds, I've got 28 of them. I've got 55 clients that do not have an age. Now I can exclude that or include it by right-clicking, or what I can do here is I can actually create a filter. So you can create filters with date ranges. Anything within here can be a filter, and you can also be able to make it a selection of options as well. So it's not one of that, and I might go apply, and that will remove it for me, but it'll also allow me to be able to reselect it as well in the report. So the other thing as well with these particular reports is that I can go through here and I can build on other things. So I might actually go, let's have a look at gender. So I can scroll down and have a look for gender, or I can start typing it in. And I might go and throw gender up here. So this is going to do a cross tabulation where I can see age by gender. I also want to have a filter for that, and I might say contains is one of, and I'll apply that as well. Yep, Bronwyn, I can see your message pop up there. Yes, we are doing the DEX update in regards to that. This is just using my UIT environment. Good question, Bronwyn. So what I'm going to do here now is I'm just going to go quickly and I'll better add a title. So let's call it age range by gender, all clients. And as I do that, I'm just going to click on this chart. This chart description here is going to let me know what type of things are available for me to be able to change to. I always like a stacked column. It's my own preference. And when building up reports, it's going to load and change the graph. So whenever you build your own reports here, you're going to notice it's going to pop and look like this because you need to turn on all the rows and columns. So as you can see, this report here is just letting me know, and visually I can see that we have more females than males, but it's nearly a 50-50 split. It's nearly 50-50 split between the 36 to 65 age. Okay, Fernand, you asked a really good question. Do we charge the organizations for building reports in BI? If you have BI full, as we call it, this version here, you can be able to build your own reports. There is a setup fee in regards to us giving you training on how to build reports and how to sync them into the CRM. And there is an annual fee as well, which we can discuss as well. So if anyone's interested in these particular reports and being able to do this stuff, please talk to me. I'm more than happy to help. The other thing as well is that if you're like, I've got these reports, I want to see, I've got like 50 reports or 10 reports that we're going to use and they're not going to change, but I want to be able to email them. We can also assist with you not having to have access to this because we can do this for you. Okay, so I just wanted to recap on reporting. So I'm going to go back here from home. I'm going to click back on my dashboard. So I'm back at my home page. So with reports, we have embedded reports within the CRM so that you can easily access information by clicking on a particular client and then having a look at any shortcuts. This allows you to see certain information very quickly, like emergency relief summaries, or being able to run and view your reports. So you can be able to view all your reports that you have inside the CRM without logging into CommunityBI, unless you want to build your own reports and then publish them into the CRM, into the CommunityBI reports. So you can be able to view reports, access reports straight from the CRM. You can also then be able to go through here and be able to pull reports straight by going into reports, BI, and being able to access reports. So that's that I can answer very quickly. Yes, Kathy, I'll plan to send the whole recording once we end this meeting. Very specific question. Can you run staff productivity on a weekly basis using parameters previous 7 days? There is a parameter that you can do in BI where you can have date -7 in days. So you can put the filters in that will always show you the last 7 days. And Shelley, feel free to chime in if I am wrong, but I think I'm right. Terrific. Just scrolling out. All right, terrific. I think that's all the questions, but if you do have any questions, like I said, I will be emailing everybody that's attended today with a copy of this recording, and also I'm more than happy, and a link to be able to schedule a quick 15-minute chat with me if you want to have a chat more about your reporting requirements and how we can make things better. Thank you all. Stay tuned for the next webinar and look out for my email. A huge thank you to Shelley and Eddie for joining me today and monitoring the chat.
All good. Also, I did get a couple of emails during this webinar, so thanks, guys. I've responded when I can. Thanks.
Terrific. All right, guys, I am ending this meeting in 3, 2, 1. Take care, everybody.